Welcome to our webinar today, 13 local marketing tactics to help your school increase admissions, hosted by Local IQ. We're so happy that you joined us today. My name is Brandon Griffin. I'm head of B2B marketing for Local IQ. This webinar is for any individual who is a marketing director, a manager, a marketing coordinator within a school, whether your school's a school, college, university, independent school, prep school, all boys, all girls school, or the other. If you're in that category, if you're responsible for helping your educational institution grow by way of the number of students who are enrolled and admitted into your establishment, you are in the right place. And this is also for anyone who's a part of the education sector who's unsure if you're using the right digital marketing or digital advertising strategies to meet the current needs of your school. We're going to talk about a lot today, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I went ahead. Okay, there we go. First, let me give you an introduction into Local IQ. Local IQ is a part of NewsQuest Media Group, the UK's leading local publisher. Local IQ gives you access to a network of 200 plus trusted news brands, both in print and online. We have a lot of different divisions, from an award-winning events division, recruitment platforms, and a wide range of multimedia marketing solutions from our digital marketing side of the house, where we work with businesses of all sizes with all of their digital advertising needs, from website design to search engine optimization, paid search advertising support, and even support in advertising on social platforms like Facebook and Instagram. The services list goes on, but whatever your need might be, we can help you. Just go to our website, www.localiq.co.uk, click the green button in the top right side that says Let's Talk, and we'll be more than happy to work with you and support your business achieve its growth goals through digital advertising. If you recall on our webinar titled 13 Local Marketing Tactics, the emphasis is on local marketing. With the internet, you can reach anyone in the world, but for the emphasis of today's session, we're going to talk about how can we utilize the tactics that we're talking about to reach the audience that's searching for educational institutions right in their own neighborhood. We're going to try to connect with those audiences who are right in our backyard and searching for schools and courses and programs to help them meet their educational needs. Did you know that there are 3.5 billion Google searches every day? Chances are you've helped contribute to that number today. But when we look at the search results, statistics from the lens and perspective of the educational sector, we see these stats. And that is that 67% of internet users use search engines as their first source of information for educational institutions. So when they're going and they're trying to find information about the academy, the independent school near them, the first source that they go to is a search engine. And 64% of those internet users click on sponsored links when they're searching for education information. We're going to talk about the difference between sponsored and organic links in just a few minutes, but just wanted to offer you that stat so that you can have some context. When you take a look at the actual PowerPoint files that will come from you registering from watching today's webinar, you'll be able to follow along with me and click on the links like the one I featured there, which says click here to read. And if you click on that article, you'll get connected to tips for educational establishments that are running paid search campaigns. So that'll be a really helpful resource. And there are a few call outs as we move along that you'll also be able to take a look at and go deeper into the topics, because I'm not going to be able to go in depth as much as I'd like to try to make sure we're moving along as efficiently as possible. So let's get started. We've got 13 tactics. So if you want to take notes, I encourage you to grab your pen and paper now. Here are the 13 tactics that you might encounter that you could implement to support your overall local marketing strategy. We've got your website, SEO, PPC, social media marketing, Facebook advertising, local listings, display advertising, branded content, uh, print advertising, email marketing, direct mail, local sponsorships and event marketing, and even video advertising. As we move forward, we're going to go into each one, and for each one, I'm quickly going to give you a little context of what it is, and then we've outlined immediate action steps that you and your team can take to implement these strategies, as well as pro tips, so that once you get it going, you can continue to optimize it along the way. So these are the 13. I know it's a lot, but we'll try to get through as efficiently as possible. As we move forward, though, there's one thing that I want to put before you to keep in mind, and that is that the best local marketing strategies include multiple marketing tactics because they all work together to help you reach your goals. And the goal that we're talking about today is increasing our admissions, increasing the number of students that are attending our establishments. The first local marketing tactic that we're going to talk about is your website, because everybody needs a website, especially for local marketing. Your website is the hub for your business, the place where all of your other marketing strategies should be driving traffic and interest to. It's also its own powerful local marketing tool, because on it, individuals can find out not just information about where your school is located in terms of the contact information, but even more about your staff, your programs, and other initiatives. If you have a website, the first action item that we'd like to suggest that you take is utilizing the website grader from Local IQ, because the health of a website deteriorates over time as new techniques and technologies get introduced. And so what may have been industry standard might now be considered dated, or even worse, a negative factor when it comes to search engine optimization, which we'll talk about in a moment. But once you conduct the audit, it'll give you a report card for your website and show you areas where you can improve. And here are the 3 pro tips that we'd like to put before you to consider, and that is to make sure that the navigation menu is easy to use for desktop and mobile use. Place clear calls to actions across your website. So do you want your students to call your front office to find out more information, or do you want them to just register their interest by clicking on the form and submitting their information? You have the ability to control their next step by the information that you put before them. And finally, you can use things like Google Page Speed Insights to check how quickly your website is loading, so that way you can make improvements there. And Google has something called Google Analytics, of which more than likely, if you've got a website, hopefully you've got that installed, because it'll give you some insights into the users that are on your website and how they're navigating through it. But next year, Google is going to be shifting to Google Analytics 4. And so when you get this PowerPoint deck, you'll be able to click on this link to make sure that you are up to speed about the changes that are to come, to make sure that you can still get all that data that's so helpful to you and your school as you're looking at how things are performing. The second and third local marketing tactics that we're going to talk about is SEO, which is also search engine optimization, and PPC, which is pay per click, also known as paid search engine advertising. You've probably have heard of SEO. It's a marketing strategy that helps your business show up on search engine result pages for searches relevant to your school, your business, the courses that you offer organically, which means you basically don't have to pay for every time that a person clicks when they see this type of result that comes up. We call that organically. It comes up organically. Whereas local PPC refers to pay-per-click or paid search engine advertising. And that's where a person, every time they click on your business's ad, you have to pay a nominal amount. And the way you can identify each one easily is because when it's a paid ad, you'll see ad right next to the title, like you'll see it, and you'll notice that that's not included on the results that are under search engine optimization type organic listings. Looking at, and I'll just load both of them at the same time. Here we go. Awesome. So looking at the action items that we are suggesting that you take. SEO is a vast topic. There's a lot there. Sometimes SEO can take up to 6 months for your business to begin to see some of the results. So it's really important that you understand the basics as you start to invest more into this topic. There's a free ebook that will take you as deep as you want to go into learning about SEO. But for the sake of today's webinar, I just want you to walk away knowing that there are 3 basic factors, and that is on page, off page, and technical. Okay. So for sake of time, I won't go into more, but I really do encourage you to take a look at that ebook because it'll explain what each one is. And then for the action item as it relates to your PPC, we encourage you to grade your Google Ads. If you have a campaign already going, you can take a look at the Google Ads Performance Grader tool, and it'll give you some tips on how you can optimize your search ads that are live. 4, 5, and 6, social media marketing, local Facebook advertising, and local video advertising. These are all tactics that are related, so I just put them on the same slide there for you. Social media marketing includes having a presence for your business on social sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, if that makes sense for your business, and even TikTok is a rising platform for educational establishments. Local Facebook, Instagram advertising allows you to target users both on Facebook and Instagram with ads about your school to expand your reach to get more customers. And Facebook has powerful targeting capabilities. And 6 is video advertising. And one of the most major platforms that individuals and businesses upload video content to is YouTube. Did you all know that YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world? And it's second only to Google, which consequently owns YouTube. And so it's a great part of a local marketing strategy and a mix of media if you want to come up in search results. When we look at some immediate action items and tips, especially as it relates to social media marketing, I know it's so easy to want to go to the newest and perhaps the most shiniest social media channels that come out every year and create a presence for your school, your college, or your university. But I encourage you to take a look at the resource that we're providing that talks about how you should build a strategy and the things that you should consider about each social media platform before you start to invest resources into each. And that is really especially to make sure that your audience is there and making sure that your school has the resources to create content and generate content to keep things fresh on those channels. 7, the 7th local marketing tactic that we're going to talk about is local listings. Business listings like Google Business Profile allow searchers to find information about your school in search engine results, but also in apps on their phones. And so local listings, the listings are built around your basic business information like the name of your school, where you're located, address, your phone number, and your website. And people use information on local listings to find out where your school is located. They use it to read reviews, and they even can easily just click call to contact your school directly. And so it's really important to make sure that your information it's really important to make sure that your school's information is accurate. Otherwise, you could be missing out on parents that are calling to try to find out more information to get their student enrolled. And it's also something that can impact your search engine optimization strategy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, here are the tactics or the immediate action item and the pro tips that we suggest. And the one that I just want to call out too is to make sure that you really take advantage of every opportunity to generate as many online reviews as you can. You can see here the college that's featured has more than 100 reviews. These are individuals who are talking about this educational establishment and the courses they take, the programs they take, and just what their general thoughts are, because the reviews from online users add to the credibility and the validity of your colleges, your schools, online presence, and brand overall. Number 8 is local display advertising. So it's this banner ad here. Sometimes you may have seen things like this, or you may have created one for your own school. This one in particular is encouraging students to register their interest for 2023. And so it's when you take this type of an ad and put it onto a website like this, like the Press's website, which is one of our local titles in York. So you'll notice that as you go through any website, especially news websites, you'll see banner ads. And so this is a form of display advertising. And this link that I share here where it says deliver the right message to the right audience talks about how you can make sure that your display ads are placed on the most appropriate websites where individuals who are most likely to come to your school or having a connection to your school, making sure that your ad is in front of those readers. And here is number 9, which is local branded content. So local branded content sometimes shows up in print, but it can also be online. It's when a business advertises, but the bulk of the content is editorial type of a tone and content. You're trying to educate, you're trying to share information to your audience, and who better to, or what a better way to get connected to your brand by teaching someone something, because then when they need your product or service, they're going to think about how you've helped them, how you've educated them about a particular topic. And this branded content piece can be published in newspapers, online, and it usually says this is a paid advertisement, but it really looks like it's a legitimate article, and it has the intent really to inform and educate the reader. The 10th local marketing tactic that we want to pose before you for consideration to think about is local print advertising. And sometimes people say, should we really continue to print? How many people are reading print pieces, whether it's postcards or a newspaper? But the fact is, and this is a really good stat, that is 82% of consumers trust print ads. People still like to see things and touch things, and it adds to the credibility of whatever the advertiser is putting before them. And so here are some immediate action items and pro tips that we'd like to recommend, and that is to make sure that your printed pieces align with the right digital assets. So even though you're using a printed piece, you can still direct people to your website. You can incorporate QR codes or even phone numbers that can be tracked. That's what number 3 in the pro tip is talking about, using tracking technology. So that way, if individuals call on this particular phone number, you know that they're calling because they saw it in a printed piece. And so you can tie technology to your printed pieces as well. So that way you can track how things are performing, and you can track your return on investment from that particular tactic. Number 11 is targeted email marketing. Email is so important. Someone said once before that people will probably change homes more frequently than they change their email address. And so it's really important to try to capture as many emails that you can from your users and your various stakeholders. And when you do that, these are the immediate action items and the pro tips that we would suggest for you. And I think most notably, the thing that I want to bring attention to here is point number 2, where it says create unique email content, as well as creating a segmented list. So trying to get away from sending the same email to everyone on your list and trying to create segmented audiences. So have a list for your students, have a list for parents, have a list for alumni, and send them emails and content that's related to their unique areas of interest or affiliation to your college or school or your university. Because when you do that, you'll see that you'll get higher engagement rates, from open rates to click-through rates, and even responses to your calls to action. Number 12 is direct mail, and very similar to, oh, excuse me, I'll go back one slide. Direct mail, it's very similar to your print advertising piece because it's printed. But main thing I want to point out here is that even though it's a printed piece, you still have the opportunity, again, to utilize technology. And in this instance, I wanted to highlight the fact that you can utilize technology to personalize those printed pieces. I'm sure we all get a lot of spam mail and junk mail, and you really want to make sure you stand out. And so in these pieces, they use the technology to put that person's name on the printed piece to make it even more effective. And the same thing here, just like in the other printed pieces, you can incorporate tracking technology of phone numbers or tracking numbers, QR codes that will help indicate how many people are responding to this particular initiative, and to push them to your other marketing assets as well. And as you saw just a second ago, the final one is local sponsorships and event marketing. And I know this is a big one, especially for schools and just in general educational institutions, because we put on fairs, open days, we go to the high schools, we try to see people face to face, and especially after what we've been through, people really do appreciate that face to face interaction. And so here is a resource that talks about just 13 handy tips to make sure that you have a really good marketing plan to promote your event from Eventbrite that we wanted to share with you. All right, so those were the 13 local marketing tactics to help your school increase admissions. And remember, we talked about that an effective marketing strategy incorporates or has at least 2 or 3 of those marketing tactics, and they all work together, because someone will see your printed ad, and then they'll see your Facebook ad, and then it increases that recognition of your brand. And there's a statistic that said that individuals need to see your brand about 7 times before they actually respond to your call to action. And so you want to make sure that you show up in a lot of different ways, and a lot of different things are calling for people's attention, both online and offline. And so you want to make sure that no matter where they look, no matter where they're searching or spending their time, that they can find your educational institution. I know sometimes it's like trying to put that dart at the center of that bullseye here, like our caricature friend here. But these are the 13 tactics, with your website being the foundation. And so hopefully the information that we share today gives you a little bit more insight about all the things that you could be doing to help promote your school for the purpose of trying to increase awareness or to get admissions. I'm sure you're doing at least 1 or 2, and hopefully after today's session, you've gotten 1 or 2 ideas about how you can expand that to support your overall marketing strategy. Remember, I think one of the first lessons I shared with you all and things that we wanted to encourage you to do if you have a website is to get the grade, get the report card for your website. Just go to localiq.co.uk/website grader. You enter in your website, and then it'll email you back a report card that has several different categories, from how your website is performing in the area of SEO, its technical build, even if there are social profiles pinging back to your website. You'll see how all of that is performing, and then you can take the results and kind of create a action item, or begin to set a list of your priorities as to how you and your team want to begin to improve it. So it's a great first next step that I encourage you all to take. And that is it for today's webinar. We appreciate your time. And remember that if you have any questions about anything that we talked about, if you want to learn more about how any of those tactics can be uniquely implemented to support your college, your high school, your university, your academy, just go to our website, localiq.co.uk, click the green button that says Let's Talk, and we'll get you connected to one of our experts to support you. Also, when you click this link here, click here, it'll take you to our blog section on our website, where we have a host of resources, especially for the education sector for schools, to better help you implement digital marketing strategies for your establishment there. Again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar. On behalf of Local IQ, we thank you so much for your time and look forward to working and supporting your school in the future.